You gorgeous people. It's like 3 seconds. I couldn't handle it. See? There it is. It's 9 o'clock. I was like 3 seconds from 9 o'clock, and then it turned 9 o'clock because it takes 3 seconds to say it's 3 seconds. That's great. Needless to say, welcome to the Celtic Rain Radio Show. I am extremely happy that you're here. I know I took another week off. How dare I have a vacation? That's just crazy. I know. It was my son's birthday. Shut up. Needless to say, we did. We had a great time. He wanted to go. So we went out and watched the movies and went to the new Spider-Man movie where it's all, like animated. Those are really good. So, yeah, we had a great time. I'd seen the first one, and now I've seen the second one, and I feel fulfilled in life, and I'm ready for the third. It is what it is. But you are here for the Celtic Rain Radio Show, not for me to talk about Spider-Man. So there you go. Remember, if you are watching, you can go to youtube.com/C for channel /Celtic Rain, like rain out of the sky. And you can subscribe and hit that little bell. It's like magic. It tells you when it's going to be on. I know. It's one of those beautiful things in life. Magic right at your fingertips, called the internet. It's amazing. If you have music to send me, you can send it to celticrain777@gmail.com. And all it has to be is a small label or independent artist music from you or somebody who represents the band or musician. And it needs to be family friendly, meaning please, 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 no cursing. Keep it nice. Don't be mean to people. I mean, that should just be a rule in life. Don't be mean to people. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. Needless to say, we're going to have some amazing music tonight. I know. And we have a wonderful guest on as well. It's one of those things. And so we're going to listen to Patty's Lamentation. Now, you guys know how hard words are for me. They're so hard. Patty's Lamentation by the Celtic Girls. I love me some Celtic Girls. And then we have Song of Jehovah by Celtic Rain. That's me. So this is one of my ones that I wrote, oh my gosh, so long ago. And we recorded it a long time ago as well. So you get to hear like little Rebecca voice when I was younger, instead of mature Rebecca voice, which I think is prettier, but that's okay. And then you get to listen to Under the Toy Mass Tree, instead of the Christmas tree, the Toy Mass Tree. It's an instrumental piece by Mad Scientist Club. Some really amazing music. It is what it is, because I play amazing music here. I know. I mean, who wouldn't want to listen to amazing music? I know I would. It's one of those things. You guys ready? Here we go.
It's by the hush me boys, and it's sure to hold your noise, and listen to poor Patty's sad narration. I was by hunger pressed, and in poverty distressed, so I took a thought I'd leave the Irish nation. Now here's to you, boys. Now go take my advice. To America I'll have is not me go. When there is nothing here but a war, where the murdering cannons roar. And I wish I was at home in dear old Dublin. Saw me horse and cow, my little pig sell my little plot of land. I soon did part with Henry's sweetheart, Bet McGee. I'm afraid I'll never see, for I left her there that morning broken hearted. Now here's to you, boys, now go take my advice. To America I'll have is not me go, when there is nothing here but a war, where the murdering cannons roar. And I wish I was at home in dear old Dublin. Well, myself and 100 more to America sailed o'er. Our fortunes to be made, we were thinking, when we got to Yankee land. They shoved a gun into our hands, saying, Patty, you must go and fight for Lincoln. Now here's to you, boys, now go take my advice. To America I'll have is not me go, when there is nothing here but a war, where the murdering cannons roar. And I wish I was at home in dear old Dublin. Well, I think myself in luck if I get fed on Indian buck. And old Ireland is a country I delight in. With the devil I do say, it's curse America. For I think I've had enough of your hard fighting. Here's to you, boys, now go take my advice. To America I'll have years not be go, when there is nothing here but a war, where the murdering cannons roar. And I wish I was at home in dear old Dublin. Here's to you, boys, now go take my advice. To America I'll have years not be go, when there is nothing here but war, where the murdering cannons roar. And I wish I was at home, I wish I was at home, I wish I was at home in dear old Dublin.
There is one song, the song of Jehovah. There is I looked under the Tormus tree, and what did I see? Something spectacular, I swear. No little toy trains, cause who's, and I can promise you there were no socks there for me to wear. I looked under the Tormus tree. Is that a present glowing green? Then lined overalls protect my limbs. The caution that I used after I put on my suit, you'd hear a pin drop, how nervous I got till I opened up the lid. Radioactive materials are inside were joyfuls of my soul. All the fun that I will have when I take this back to the lab and experiment until the cows come home. I looked under the Tormus tree, and what did I spy? The best present I could ever receive. I looked for a tag to see who it was from. There was nothing, not a name or a mark, which, to be honest, it was actually quite a relief. Who could know the things I need for my musical creations? Was it to shake or Santa Claus? Or dear the hamsters finally pay me back for last year? I looked under the Tormus tree as I was cleaning up after the annual Tormus Day soiree. I saw a black and yellow tag hanging from the tree, addressed from Sergeant Dutch to little old me. I said,
The end of that song was a drummer's nightmare. Just gonna put that out there. I say that because our beautiful artist that's coming on next is an actual percussionist, and I know that hurt me right here, so it probably hurt her as well. But it's Mad Scientist Club, so they got to be a little crazy because it's in the name, people. It's in the name. I'm just saying. But we do have our beautiful artist of the night with us. Our artist of the night. Sounds like she's like a vampire or something. Hello, my dear. How are you?
Good. How about you?
I'm good. So, for all those that have not met you, because you have been on before, say your name for us so that everybody can know exactly how it's pronounced.
So my name is Gianna.
Gianna.
Gianna Neville. Gianna.
Gianna. And so that's Giauna, right?
Yeah.
So beautiful. I've always thought that was the most beautiful name. I've known you for quite a while.
Mhm.
I remember the first time I met you actually. It was at the Pike Performance Center, and we were getting ready for performing with you were with the symphonic orchestra, and I was with
Yeah.
the symphonic gospel choir, and
Mhm.
you're like, "Hey," and I'm like, "Hey," and it was like years
Yeah.
ago. We're not going to talk about how many years,
Many, many
but it was
years.
a lot of years ago. Yeah, it was. I was just like, and it's been beautiful to like watch you just blossom into this beautiful artist. So know that it made my heart happy to watch you grow.
Like watch me grow like literally but also like metaphorically.
Both. It was amazing. It was so beautiful. Yeah, because I was thinking about this the other day when like this last February, right? And the gospel choir hadn't sang for a while because of COVID and stuff,
Mhm.
and I remember my son turned 15 last week, and he was in my belly. Put him in my belly. He was in my belly. When for my first time with the gospel choir.
Wow.
So that's
That's
crazy.
when you put it that way, you know what really is horrible is today at work,
It
one of
hurt.
my students, we were talking about a song or something when a song came out that we were working on to play drums to. And I was like, wait, when were you born again? And she said 2008. And I was like, that was my freshman year of high school.
Oh, that's just harsh. That like hurts. It hurts because you're just like, oh my god. Or when you go, you ready for this? So I have this times where I'll be like, okay, so this is how you're gonna learn all of the intervals. So I teach people the intervals, right? Okay, and you can remember, a perfect fourth is dun 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 dun. Here comes the bride, right?
Yeah.
And I get to the major six, and I'm like NBC, and they're like, what?
The what?
Or they'll go, I say, my Bonnie lies over the ocean. They're like, I don't know that song. And I'm like, I can't be that old. It just can't happen.
Yeah.
Not worth it.
What would I use now? Yeah. What would you use now?
I don't
Because,
know. Like that's what's stuck in my head. So like I'm having to like rethink all of my songs for intervals so that like then they can be relevant and I'm not relevant.
yeah,
So
that,
relevant. It is what it is. It is what it is. You get older, it's just the way of the world. But we get to grow old fighting the whole way, looking amazing as we do it. And that's all that matters.
yeah. So you said your son turned 15.
Yeah.
July 2nd, I turned 30, which has been
Ugh.
uh, an adventure all in within itself. I can tell you that.
There you go. And now you're 30. How's it feel?
It's great. You know what's funny is I used to I never, nobody, you don't plan for when you turn 30. So when I was kind of in the last few years leading up to, I got my master's in 2021 and doing all of what I was doing, put out
Yeah.
my album and whatever, I wasn't planning, okay, all this stuff that I'm going to be doing, which is what I'm currently doing now, I'll be doing by the time I turn 30. And I wasn't thinking that. I was just kind of, for lack of a better word, honestly going with the flow in a way. Like I didn't
You're
have
just
like,
living life.
we're going to
Yeah.
do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. I was just
Yeah.
like, whatever happens, it's just going to happen. And then I said that, and then I ended up in 3 groups, and I dropped an album, and I started all these new weird hobbies, and now I'm 30 and doing weird things that I didn't think I would be doing. So.
Hey, it's a plus because I think as musicians, we look at ourselves and we go, okay, I, I just know whatever I'm doing, I just need to do music and
Hmm.
create. If I'm still creating, then I know I'm going to be okay. I don't care what age I am. And then as musicians, if we're good musicians, we'll look at things and go, "Oh, that's interesting. Let's do that. Oh, that's interesting. Let's do that. Oh, but it's not in your genre. You're right, but it can be. Is it
Exactly.
Is this your
This is my cat. She decided to come join us.
That's right. She graces us with her presence. That's
Okay, Lala, you
beautiful.
gotta say hi once.
You want to say hi? We have cat lovers out there. All the animal lovers.
This is my
Cuddle.
okay. This is my cat Lala. I've had her for about almost 5.5 years. She is very chunky. Oh no, come on, don't do that. She's 13 pounds. At her heaviest, she was 18. I got her down a little bit, but yeah, she's black as you can tell. She's cool.
Nice.
She
We have a
looks.
black cat as well. He is sassy as
She
all
does
get
not
out.
look. She
He
does
is.
not look like she wants to
She
be.
does not look. She's like, I'm not happy with this situation. Well, we have a few people that have commented. Oh, right. Oh, so for the Flintstones.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
That's
That's a
a
good
good one.
one.
That's a pretty
Yeah.
good one. Yeah, yeah. She kept saying, "Wow, to be 30 again." I know. Shush.
All right,
Everybody
you're
was
going
30
down.
once.
You're
That's
going
right.
down.
That's
Bye
right. Oh, and
bye.
look at this. We've got your grandmother. Well, I am Gianna's grandfather. Sorry, my fault. I sang with the uh, the initial symphonic praise chorus. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's
I'm
my
with you.
granddad.
100%. That's right. That's right. Well, there you go. You can always come back to us. We need voices all the time. Needless to say. Oh, and then Natalie says, "Hello, Lala Kitty." Oh, see, I told you they love animals on the show. It is what it is. Well, yeah. So you actually went off and got your degree in percussion, and then went and got your master's, and started doing music, and now you're teaching and doing all sorts of beautiful things. So tell me, all of that, how has your master's and everybody goes, so did the degree do anything for you? So that's my question. What did the degree do for you?
What's really interesting is I have to say yes and no. It didn't do anything, but it also did.
Yeah.
Because, people tell you, especially on paper when you're doing more of the, I guess, professional or prof development side of things, having a master's looks great. But in the real world, especially when it comes to modern Black American music or jazz, as people say, they don't care what you have. You can have a black belt. You could be the jujitsu master. You can have a doctorate, PhD, whatever, in whatever types of musicology. It doesn't matter because they just care if you can play or not. That's
Right.
what it boils down to.
Yeah.
So that side, it didn't really help me on that side, but it did help me on the side of going to Iowa. I was actually just talking to somebody about this the other day. I was like, this 60 something. I want to say my professor's in his 60s. I hope he's not listening, and if I'm wrong, I'm sorry.
He's like, I'm
Professor
47.
Dreyer, aka Jim Dreyer, but I was like, this 60 something year old white guy taught me and introduced me to Latin jazz, and that's something that I tell people to this day is just so priceless. I've developed this this love and this natural touch and this affinity for Latin jazz, and
Yeah.
it took me going to the middle of a cornfield in Iowa to learn that. And so now that's something else that I have. Not only do I do, jazz, I do modern music, I do hip hop, I
I love
do
that.
fusion, I do orchestral work, I do classical work, and
Yeah.
now I can throw in there Latin stuff.
I've learned as a musician, at least, that if you don't learn to do lots of things, to be able to put your hands in lots of different areas, that you get stuck, and then you can't go anywhere. You can't. It's so much more fun when you can diversify and be like, okay, yes, I can do this. And I think for myself, I love to challenge myself and be like, we haven't done that yet.
Exactly.
Let's try this, because who knows what it's going to do to my mind? Who knows what it's going to broaden my mind into? And then it's just going to make me a better musician. You want to do it with grace, and you want to make sure that you're honoring all of the things that culture has. But at the same time, do it. Have fun with it. Make it influence your life so much that it becomes a little bit of a part of who you are,
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's really beautiful. We do have a few. Oh, it's your grandfather's like, he's too old to stand anymore. So that I understand. I
Yeah,
get it.
that is, yeah,
Definitely a
that's,
thing. Yes, they do have you stand a long time when you're performing. I'm usually right above the perfect percussion section, so I just get to look down on your granddaughter forever. All the
it's funny
sopranos
that he
look down on
said
her.
that because I just had a gig on Friday in Broadwell Park, playing with a group I just joined, Wampus Milk Daddies, and I play auxiliary in that group.
Nice.
And I'm used to playing drum set, but auxiliary, like we just said, like my setup is like 90% Latin percussion. So I'm in my element and I love it. But
Oh
that's
yeah.
the first gig I've played Latin in a few months. And it was a 2 hour gig. My feet were killing me.
Oh yeah. You got
Because
to
I'm
stand the
so
whole
used
time.
to sitting down that I was standing up that whole time. And I was like, oh my gosh.
You're like dying
I
here. I'm
was, I
dying here,
was,
people.
and
I'm
we were
dying
out,
here.
it was outside too. So
Yeah.
I was sweating bullets
Oh.
and standing up and,
Oh my gosh. I've had gigs before where I wore the wrong shoes because I'm a short person, and so
hmm.
I'm the singer in front. So you don't always want to be this tiny little short person in front. So you wear heels, and I found heels that have like all the good cushioning and stuff because oh my Jesus, it hurts so bad when you stand up for 3 hour concerts and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna sit down and not move for like 12 hours. I'll be back with you. Thank you. Have a nice life. So I totally get that. We have another one. It says, unfortunately, that is true of all things black. They just want to see the performance. Not quite sure exactly what that
Oh,
comment
I
was
get.
about.
Okay, yeah, that
You got
is okay.
this?
So
You got
they took
this.
it like a literal, like, cause, well, the thing is like, and I don't want to get like deep, but I mean, they
Oh,
bring
get
up a
deep.
good
Go.
point with like modern black musical style. Well, it started really with blues and rock and roll. Like it was all black
Oh, yeah.
music,
Oh,
and the
absolutely.
faces that were the big people. You know, you had the Elvises, and you
Hmm.
had the who else can you? I don't
Oh
even.
my
Well,
gosh.
really,
So,
it started
yeah,
with Elvis. Is if
oh,
you
what
want to
was it?
start
Okay,
there.
so I was listening because we were going through trying to decide what songs we are going to do for this blues and jazz thing that we're going to be doing, and I was like, I want to do women in blues. So we put a whole set together, of women in blues, and we started listening to some Big Mama Thornton.
Oh
Oh
yeah,
my gosh! And so
yeah.
and we started listening to her stuff, and there's a song that Elvis does, of course, that's hers,
Hmm.
and I was like, this is a lot better than the Elvis version. And I was like I was like, she's way before Elvis. She obviously wrote the song, and I started looking. Oh my God, she wrote this song, and I was like, he totally stole that.
Yeah, there's videos that I've seen on like if you find the archive Facebook groups and pages, they post really great things.
It's
And there's
amazing.
one of her, and it's in black and white, so I don't know
Oh,
what she's wearing, but I can't tell what the colors are. But I'm assuming it's like a work woman's dress,
oh,
and she's
nice.
got this guitar, and she is just killing it. Like
That woman.
no electricity, killing it on this guitar. Like it's loud, and she's
Yeah.
like screaming and dancing around, and she wasn't. I mean, she's not like 900 pounds, but she was pretty big. She was like 250, 300 pounds. I
She
mean, they
she
called her Big Mama Thornton for a reason.
right,
But
right.
yeah, but
She
like,
was amazing. Like
she
that
was
woman is
great.
amazing. And I
Yeah.
since doing this like research because I was like, I want to do some of this as well, We're getting into it. We haven't quite done it yet. We're getting there. But needless to say, I was just like, I am now the biggest fan in the world of Big Mama Thornton.
Yeah,
Right here.
there's a lot of artists that have kind of been overlooked and overshadowed, but a lot of like what's modern and cool and hip that are black styles or have come from black styles, the people that you see today and who get pushed to the forefront and gain popularity are not in any way, shape, or form of any color. So I see where they're coming from with like popular music and what was popular up like what's popular of the time usually stems from African American or indigenous black people like origin styles or true blue black music, and then the people that make it big aren't exactly them.
True.
You know what I mean?
True. Well, we have a song of yours that we're going to be playing called Turkish Bossa. So tell me about this.
You know what's funny is I don't even know why I named it that. I just kind of named it that just to name it that, and I kind of feel like I'm playing two sides of the coin here because it's like there are so many things that are like, not that I'm not against cancel culture, but like I feel like if people really like knew who I was and that was like people knew that, they would be like, you're canceled because this has nothing to do with Turkey. And I'll be like, well, I didn't, it just sounded foreign and I did not know what to call it, so I just said Turk, like ish, and I was like, Turkish.
I do that with I make my kids like warm up with all the different scales, and we do all of the minors, including the harmonic minor, and I'm like, and this is the fun one. It's very Middle Eastern because look at that minor third right there. Isn't that wonderful? And they're just like, oh yeah, we can see that. I'm like, yeah, right. This is my Middle Eastern one right there. There you go. So I totally get that. Totally get that. So what is this song about? What did it make your, when you were writing it, what did it make your heart do?
It made me excited and happy because it fuses because I was obviously, like I said, I've developed just this love for Latin music and just styles that are not from the country. So like anything south, literally like no pun intended, south of the border, I love. So it kind of has styles of mambo, styles of salsa, but also Brazilian bossa nova. So there's a mixture of multiple Latin styles as opposed to usually in a swing tune in jazz. You go from like a swing section to like a Latin section and you go back to the swing section or vice versa. This tune just goes from Latin to Latin to Latin to another Latin all together at the same time, and it uses very traditional like Brazilian rhythms and
Beautiful.
clave, and which Brazilian music like bossa nova, samba, street drum styles do not follow clave. Clave is Cuban, which is more on the other side of Latin American music, but there are parts of the song that are Cuban and have clave. Nice. But it's got Brazilian too, so I try to not offend anybody. Hopefully,
yeah, I got them all in there.
And blend.
I got all the letters. They're all
blend
in there.
blend as much as possible without like hopefully offending anybody. But it's just a song. I hope I don't make anybody mad. Sorry.
You know what? It's a beautiful song. So you're gonna play this in a second. I'd bring on the instruments because believe me, these people love them. And maybe next time we get together and have a little talk, I would love to see your instruments. Tell us about the instruments because I know my people like that. They love all the instruments. But I'll bring you back in just 1 second to do your song, and we're gonna have a little fun. All right. Cool. Sounds good. All right, guys. That's right. We have Turkish by our beautiful artist of the evening. That's right, Giauna. And then we have New Man by Scott Ziegler. And then we have Oh Well by I'm Quincy Four Wheeler. I always say his name wrong. Always. Needless to say, we're gonna have a great time with you right here. Listen to some great music. You guys ready for some beautiful music? I am. All right. You guys ready? Here we go.
Yeah! Sin is crouching at your door, 'cause the warning sign you chose to ignore. The cost is great, it cuts like a knife. Is the price really worth your life? Don't you run, don't you hide in a double life. Caught between wrong and right, trying to survive. Let go of your pride, clean the inside. When you begin to thrive, the new man comes alive. Comes alive. Time to start sowing good seeds. Time to start pulling up the weeds. You'll bear good fruit when you live in right, and in the end reap eternal life. Don't you run, don't you hide in a double life. Caught between wrong and right, trying to survive. Let go of your pride, clean the inside. When you begin to thrive, the new man comes alive. Don't you run, don't you hide in a double life. Caught between wrong and right, trying to survive. Let go of your pride, clean the inside. When you begin to thrive, the new man comes alive. Don't you run, don't you hide in a double life. Caught between wrong and right, trying to survive. Let go of your pride, clean the inside. When you begin to thrive, the new man comes alive. Comes alive, yeah. Woo.
Well, you guys, some great music. I did make a small mistake there. Just saying. I know it happens. Rebecca makes mistakes. What? That's crazy. Obviously, it was just a happy little mistake. But the one song that was the Celtic instrumental is called "Drag the Lads" by the Bookends. Mr. Quincy's song is going to be in the next one. Actually, it's coming on right now. I know it is what it is. But, we actually are here because this is the Celtic Green Radio Show. If you have music to send me, this is where it gets played. You send it to CelticRain777@gmail.com. And guys, it gets played. All you have to do is be a small label or independent artist and or band. And it needs to be family friendly, meaning please, no cursing, be nice. That's really all I'm asking. Let's not make fun of people. I do have a few comments. You guys have been having the best time having comments back and forth. Thanks for meeting me and inviting me to the VIP section. That's right. This is the VIP section. We get to comment. You guys get to be a part of the show. All you have to do is get on and have a great, 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 great time. We've had all sorts of comments from Mr. Dave Robinson back and forth with our beautiful, beautiful artist of the evening. And then we have some beautiful things. But first, we have some new music coming on. It's going to be awesome. It's called "Oh Well" by Quincy Four Wheeler. That's right. That's the one that's going to come on now. It is. I promise. Then we're going to do "Summertime" by Gentle Rain. That's my jazz and blues group. I will be singing that. I wish I could take credit for writing that, but that wasn't me. If I had written that, I would have made a lot of money. Like a lot of money. Needless to say, I didn't. And then we have The Great Idea by Cynics 4. Some amazing music right now, because that's what the show is about. Amazing music. Here we go.
I'm telling you, fellas, you're gonna want that cowbell.
Back where I'm from, back in my day, man, they'd smoke their funny cigarettes, forget to pay the rent and say a will. They're fixing all the worries on the big blue spinning ball. They're not quite in a hurry because they're knocking back a toll. Oh well, oh well. Far out, right on and righteous, that's what you'd always hear them say. Peace signs on leather jackets, belt buckles and painted on their face. Long hair and blue jeans and sandals we call thongs. Ain't it funny how some things they don't mean the same thing at all? Oh, well. That's what you'd always hear them say. Peace signs on leather jackets, belt buckles and painted on their face. Long hair and blue jeans and sandals we call thongs. Ain't it funny how some things they don't mean the same thing? Yeah, oh, well. Big bell-bottom blue jeans and sandals we call thongs. Ain't it funny how some things they don't mean the same thing? Yeah, oh, well.
Yeah, man, cool, baby. Right on. Woo!
Summertime and the living is easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton
wings, spread your wings, and you'll take to the sky. But till that morning, oh, there's nothing can harm you. With Daddy and Mama standing by.
do, whatever I say, I know it makes me want to pray. You take the best part of my heart, bury it deep and rip apart. This is my truth, I am a spy, come to steal and you don't know why. The great idea, oh the idea, your idea. I lay in the dark, dressed in your clothes, I Don't understand why we come to blows. I have ideas to make you stay. Stop breaking my soul in every way. The clock strikes 12. I hear the chime. Makes me sad as I commit no crimes. The great idea. Oh, the idea. Your idea. I sense your pain, I feel your way. Lying is the way I make you pay. I lick your face, I taste your tears. Nothing I can do can stop your fears. A great idea, just tell the truth. Realize you don't need no proof. The great idea. Oh, the idea. Your idea. The great idea. The great idea. Oh, the idea. Oh, the idea. So take me away. The great idea. Oh, the idea. Your idea. Whatever I do, whatever I say, I know it makes me want to pray. You take the best part of my heart, bury it deep and rip apart.
I love me some Cynics 4. They're really, really awesome. Um, I love all of the music on our show. It makes everything. j- I love that we have variety. And you know what makes it that we have variety is because you guys send it to me and I get to play your amazing music on this show. And we have a wow, dig the slightly out of tune vintage piano sound. I know, right? I know. Needless to say, it's just I like that too. I would hate to have perfect pitch. Let's just put it that way, because to be honest, I think that's more of a curse than it is a blessing, because then you can't like have fun with things off because it would drive you insane. And I already have enough things in my life that drive me insane. I don't need one more. I'm just gonna put that out there. So I'm glad I have pretty good pitch and not perfect pitch. That's my thankfulness for the day. Thank you, God, for not giving me perfect pitch. I'm just saying. But we do have our beautiful artist of the evening back. Hello, gorgeous. How are you?
I'm still enjoying the music. I actually followed that band on Spotify just now so I could check their stuff out.
See, that's the thing. Right now, you guys can go. All these people have amazing, amazing things. Go find the music on this show, and follow them, because that is one of the reasons I started the show. Actually, was so that you guys' stuff could get played and people could know who you are, because this stuff does not get played on the radio, and it should. It should really be. Some of this stuff is better than anything that's on the radio right now. So
Yeah,
I'm just
honestly.
saying. It's so great. Such great music. It's almost it'll be 3 years in February, and I think about it now and I'm like, holy crap. It's been almost like 2.5 years, and I have started this 8 countries of interviews later, and some of the most wonderful music that is out there. And I'm just it blows my mind that this started, because I was like, well, I'm here during the pandemic and I'm bored. I wanted to do this for a while. Might as well start it now. And it just happens. It happens that way.
Yeah, I remember when you first started it, because I remember it was pandemic time, which I still can't believe
Ugh,
We're 3 years out of like, I guess when like the initial like
right?
big thing shutdown happened. And people are like, "Do you remember when?" And then they'll say something wild that happened to the pandemic, and I was like, "I honestly don't." Like I do some things, but I don't other things. But it's crazy that as bad as the pandemic was, you have this show, which is something that has, you said it has grown to where you said what, 8 countries you've
Yeah, I've
done
interviewed
interviews
people in
in.
8 different countries on this show.
Yeah, and like it's just interesting that with what happened and what came out of the pandemic, good and bad, has something like this. Like, could you imagine if the pandemic never happened? We probably wouldn't even be sitting here right
No,
now.
I've always wanted to do a show like this, but I just never had the time.
Exactly.
And then I had the time, I had a lot
Yeah.
of time.
Everybody had time.
Everybody got lots of time, and we're like, "Oh my god, what do we do with all this time?" And we wrote a lot of music, and we got sick, and I almost died. And thank God for vaccines because that saved my freaking life, to be honest. And then this show helped me get through the depression of being a very outgoing person inside my house only. Because
Yeah.
it helped me connect. It really did help me connect. And now this show is able to connect people all over the world. And that to me is like the calling of my heart, is to build bridges. And so now I get to build a bridge with the show, and it just makes my heart sing.
Yeah, my entire record was written when I was at school during the pandemic. So, like I saw that David posted that he wrote the
Yeah.
album like Ghost during COVID-19. This is my project that's out on Spotify and everywhere you can stream is the only thing I've ever written, and I wrote it during the pandemic. And I keep toying around with this idea of, oh yeah, I want to do another album. Then I think of what I was doing the last time I wrote music, and I was just shut up, in a room, going to classes, and that was what I was doing. Now I'm doing like things, and I'm like, when am I gonna have time to actually sit down and
You have to
even,
build.
yeah.
Yeah, you have to build it into your life because I'm facing the same problem here. I've got ridiculous things happening all over the place. We're performing like crazy. I'm opening a school, for God's sakes, a music school, and I'm like, "Okay, God, I have 3 albums in my head ready to go. When are we going to record this?" And I had to sit down with Google Calendar. By the way, Google Calendar has saved my marriage and my life so many times. And and be like, this is where this is going to go right here. Oh, right. I do have those 3 hours on a Friday, every Friday, or 3 hours on a Monday night because,
Hmm.
there you go. And I can use that 3 hours to write music and then record. And I've learned through the years, if it's a priority, you will make space for it.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have David is just going. David's like, I have so much to say. He's having some fun right here. We're gonna put him up here right now. So it says, I'm gonna start right here. Thank you, Rebecca, for holding the course with your show. I have so much fun tuning in, and thank you, David. David's a great guy. If you saw, you should look up his, because all of my shows are recorded, and so you can actually look him up on YouTube. And his show is I think we just laughed the whole time. It was so funny. This show helped keep me going during COVID-19. See, there you go.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. And then we wrote our best album, like Ghosts, during COVID. I know, during COVID-19, man. As much as it was hard, it was so hard. Um, I can say this: it's you got to make lemonade out of lemons. You just got to. And if you're out there, you know, and you're in a bad situation, yes, it's bad, but maybe there's something you can learn from it. Maybe there's something good that can come out of it.
Hmm.
I'll say that for sure. I'm singing up for your. Oh, signing up for your page. Oh, that's awesome. That's exactly it. Because guess what, guys? Instagram. You can go to the Instagram.com/GIAUNA PAS Jazz, JAZZ. Please, 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 because that is how we love each other. That's how we love each other. I'm just saying.
Exactly.
Exactly. We follow each other's stuff. We make sure that people know, hey, these people are out here. So, do you have some instruments to show us?
I had well, I have like my aux bag that I keep all like my shakers and bakers and
Yeah.
snakers in.
All the
Um,
all the stuff.
I had my. I think another guy was in here. Ironically, I think his name was David too.
Yes,
If I'm not
David. Yeah,
mistaken.
he was. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's a lot of
he
David. There's
commented
a
on
lot of
my
David.
darbuka when I was in the klezmer
Ooh.
group. I stumbled upon this at a drum thing that we hold here in Indianapolis called PASIC, Percussive Arts Society International Convention, and they have good deals. I got this. It's a Meinl, like aluminum kind of cheap darbuka. I got it for like $40,
Oh my God,
and
that's wonderful.
I ironically needed it for the klezmer band that I just so happened to join like a couple days later.
Nice.
So
You're
I
like,
used it for
hey,
that.
I got a drum. Let's do this thing. I know. That's awesome. Yeah. So when that comes up, let us know because I love this stuff, guys. She's local. I'm just saying, and that convention is local. Is that still going on? That
Yeah, that
yeah.
so because of the pandemic and all of what happened with that, PASIC, well the Percussive Arts Society, but percussive or PASIC is Percussive Arts Society International Convention because PAS is a global thing, but the PAS like headquarters, like where all the execs and all the paperwork and all the stuff is here in Indianapolis, and
That's crazy.
people don't know that, and so
No, I had no idea.
we meaning Indianapolis because I used to work for PAS, but unfortunately I had to let me go because the museum flooded. That's another conversation. They host it here in Indianapolis downtown at
crazy.
the convention center. And what used to be was Indianapolis had a contract with PAS where since we are the headquarters of PAS, every 3 years it would go to another location. But PAS hasn't always been here. I think it originally was either in Oklahoma or Texas, then it moved to Indianapolis, and it's been here since. It's been about, I think, 40, 50 years now. But since
Wow.
COVID and the pandemic, they decided for other countries and a lot of legal and technical and safety jargon that I don't know, they decided until I believe at least 2025 to host it here. So,
Okay.
and it's not expensive. I think
Jeez.
if you go like for a day, because these drummers and these artists and these percussionists bring in big names. So there
Yeah.
might be a guitarist that you might like or a bassist you might like that plays for or with such and such drummer. You can just pay to go to the concert. I think tickets like for the concerts are like $40, and if you do like a day pass, it's like $65. You can come and
Oh my
watch
gosh, that's
clinics, watch stuff like that.
Oh my gosh, that's nothing. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
amazing. That's
Like
amazing.
I remember a lot of my bass friends came. I think I want to say it was well before the pandemic. 4 years ago, 5 years ago, Dennis Chambers was playing. Really great drummer that's played with any and everybody. But the bassist he was playing with a saxophone player too, but I forget his name. He was freaking amazing. But Victor Wooten was here.
Nice.
And so a lot of people that I know that aren't drummers came to that show to see Victor Wooten because, everybody wants to see Victor Wooten. He's
Right?
a crazy bass
Oh my
player,
gosh. David has some. David said $40, but they sound great. I know, right? Here it is. He just have a question. Is PAS connected to Rhythm Discovery Center here in town?
Yeah, so funny story. I don't know if you like keep up on social media, but I work there. I started working there last year. My cat is back. Everybody, yay, my cat. So I actually started working there around about this time last year. And I had worked there, and then so to answer your question first, yes, it is. It's like it's a nonprofit like brainchild of PAS and like
Nice.
museums of indie and like keep indie and like indie parks and all those people. Basically, it's like kind of like under PAS, but it's not like solely a PAS thing. Like it's still
Right.
registered in Indiana as a museum. So for like museum day and things, you can come for free, and like all the little cool museum things that you can do, which I learned from my supervisor when I was working there. She like has all these fancy degrees in museum studies that it's on all these like forums and apps that you can go and like, you can do a free day pass at one museum once a month, and then it's on there. It shows up as all these cool things. But long story short, David, what happened is the day after Christmas last year, I was working with my coworker, and we heard this loud crack noise, and we were like, oh, what was that? And next thing I know, I look over, and there is just water gushing in as fast as you've ever seen water gush in your life. Like, I have not lived through Katrina. I am not taking away from those people because they went through a lot, but it was my Katrina because there was water coming in from everywhere.
Oh my gosh.
The ground, the ceilings, the ground started to turn like a glossy color, and there was about 8 inches of water in that museum, and they had to gut it out, and they had to evacuate. So as of right now, there is no Rhythm Discovery Center anymore.
So sad. Well, hopefully
Yeah.
they'll rebuild.
Yeah, and
That'll be really amazing.
I'm not like saying like this to be mean or rude, but when you're kind of when you're in that nonprofit kind of,
It's hard to rebuild.
yeah, it's not like the
Yes.
city's like, oh, we gotta
Oh yeah, I
we gotta
understand.
get that done like right now. Like there
Yeah,
was
it's kind of on the
there's
back
like
burner.
no sense of like urgency. So
Yeah,
maybe in the
yeah.
next couple years or so, but
Yeah.
PAS actually had to leave. They had to relocate
Hmm.
to a new office space because where the PAS headquarters was in the back of the museum.
Oh my gosh.
So that whole area is so much water
That's
damage. It was coming
nasty.
out water outlets. It was coming out the ceilings. It was coming
So what
through
happened?
all the
Was
pipes.
What was it?
So, since the Rhythm Discovery Center, if you've been there, David, you know that it's located under the downtown Circle Center Mall. There's like it's connected by the Arts Garden.
Yeah.
And so on the other side of the Arts Garden, there's like a Tony's, there's a Panera, there's a Weber Grill,
Yeah.
and there's like a TJ Maxx in the area. Technically, we were under the Weber Grill, but the space they were leasing for that museum was owned by Simon. Simon Malls, and
Oh yeah.
because
Oh,
Circle
yeah.
Center, they own all that area. So we were technically in the Claypool Court area. So, when that space kind of went down and out, and they kind of looked at our situation, they were kind of like, I mean, I can kind of see why y'all would want to leave. So, but all that whole area, that whole mall is so old.
Yeah. Well,
It's,
there,
you
and
know,
that people don't realize this, but like Broderpool is built on top of water. And you can see it. There's the steam and all the stuff. Do you remember when the big hole opened up downtown?
Yeah.
The whole road just kind of went, "Hook," and you're just like, well, crap. And so because it's built on top of these like systems, that
Yeah.
are hollow down there. And so, yeah, Indianapolis is a beautiful city. I love the crap out of Indianapolis, but it's old. And so, there's things that it needs that they're working on. They're working
So-
on some beautiful things.
Long story
But,
short,
yeah.
a pipe busted, and the force from it was so powerful that there was like an area of a wall that the water came through when this pipe busted, that it busted like, it was like 3.5 by 4 foot tall space of a wall just busted in, and all this water. So all the floor of the museum was just covered in about
That's hilarious.
that much water.
Jeez Louise. Well, if you guys need a gauge for that, I'm only 5 foot. Shut up, everybody. And so that's only a foot shorter than me. So, yes, it's almost a Rebecca height.
The
you
stuff
go.
that got damaged is nothing rare. Nothing rare got
Good.
damaged. Nothing that like was somebody's something got damaged. The only thing that got damaged were there were certain exhibits in the museum that like were drums you can play, like things you can touch, because there's a lot of
Right.
stuff in the museum that were like people's things. We had like
Yeah, there were.
a couple we had Buddy Rich Kid, Gene Krupa's kit. We had Aaron Spears' kit. His Ariana Grande Sweetener Tour kit. We
Oh my
had
God.
that. We had a Lego kit that a guy made completely out of Legos.
That's pretty cool.
We had a bunch of we had like Kenny Arnoff's kit. We had one of Ginger Baker's kits. We had a Ludwig kit from the war period because it was made with like less than 10% metal.
Crazy.
It was
That's a lot.
nothing
Well,
got damaged.
hopefully they'll reopen. Maybe not there, obviously, but maybe some, obvious, but maybe somewhere else. And yes, Mr. David, yes, I realize that everybody thinks I'm taller than that, but I'm not. It is what it is. But we are going to listen to one of your songs as well called Motherland. Tell us about Motherland. Motherland in 3.
So interesting enough, I just kind of wanted to. And what's funny is, due to COVID, I couldn't do what all I wanted to do because the way I had to record the album, we recorded the album in isolation. So any song you hear on my album that has a horn player, so an airphone that needs air, we only could do studio time for 30 minutes, and then we had to leave the studio for the air to recirculate due to COVID regulations that my school put in place. So a lot of the trio stuff that you hear, which is ironically the front half of my album, all that stuff, there's so many takes because we had all the time in the world because there was no, it was, keys, drums, bass. There's no, so we could do whatever we wanted for as long as we wanted. But some of the songs that have saxophone, trombone, horn, any type of horn, we had to really like take what we could get because it was costing us time. Even that empty half hour that we had to let the air recirculate, we had to pay for that.
That's crazy.
So I had to. So anyway, that's a side note. But what I'm trying to get to is that there was more stuff I wanted to happen with more drums, more African percussion, more like ethnic world percussion. But it's not as what I wanted it to be. But it's kind of like a fusion of like world music, African drumming with like jazz and improvisation. So it's kind of fusing like the start of what eventually would become jazz mixed with like what it became. So it's kind of like it's like introducing the technical elements of the beginning and the end at the same time. If that makes sense.
Nice. We're going to listen to this, and then we're going to dance a little more and have a little more fun. Sound great?
Yes.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, guys. We do have Motherland in 3. And then we have Back To by Mr. Bucknaw. And then Remember My Name by Tyson Russell Music. Some amazing, amazing music coming your way. You guys ready? I am for some great music.
train. We rode those rails all night long. When I woke, that girl was gone. I looked off that train to see if I could see where she might be. But everywhere I turned to look, it seemed as though I'd been took. Way back to you, all the way to you. Take me back, man. Now once upon a rocky day, you went on a better way, leaving me to wonder why you had to go and say goodbye. If I could leave this train to see, I may see where you could be. But this here train won't stop today. But this old train, it knows the way. Way back to you, all the way to you. Take me back to where it all began. Take me back to feel your love again. Take me back so we can make amends. Take me back to where it never ends. Way back to you, all the way to you, all the way to you, all the way to you. Take me back to where it never ends. Last time we spoke was a problem.
Well, it's been an amazing show. And sometimes you got to play a little bit of rock music and just have a little good time jamming out. But we do have our beautiful, wonderful artist of the evening. Hello, gorgeous. Oh, so what are you doing now? What are you working on right now?
Oh my gosh, where do I start? Let's
Everywhere.
see. So since I don't remember if when when we last did this, I believe I was in the klezmer group, and I
It was
think I
about
was
a year ago. It was about a year ago.
okay. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not in that group anymore. I do miss it, but I'm not in that group anymore. I'm in a hardcore band called LSD, Live Suffer Die, not like the drug, but it also is the drug, but not the drug. Uh, I'm in that. I'm in another band called Zat Black. It's like dance, like anime, like Japanese, like kind of rock music.
Oh, nice.
That's a newer thing, and a very, very new thing is I'm in this group now called Wampus Milk Daddies. I mentioned it earlier. I do aux for them, but whenever their main drummer, who's a really good dear friend of mine, can't do shows, I play drum set for them.
Nice. Nice.
And I'm playing a lot with Bashir Assad, local vocalist, soul vocalist here in the city. Has his he has like kind of two sides to his cool thing. He does like full on like jazz kitchen shows with like a full band, like keys,
Hmm.
drums, bass, but he also is now getting more into acoustic music.
Nice.
And
Who is this again? Say his name.
This is Bashir Assad.
Okay. Bashir.
He's
Oh, I
a
know. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm working
Yeah.
with him doing all of his acoustic stuff, and
Nice.
because there's not a lot of, believe it or not, there's not a lot of percussionists in the city that do like acoustic style percussion playing. Like they'll do like a Latin thing, they'll do like an auxiliary thing, but they don't do like just soft like acoustic stuff. Like I think of like Nora Jones, like
Oh,
stuff
yeah,
like
yeah.
that, like that
So
type of
you're
stuff.
talking about like soft jazz, like that
Yeah,
that
like
kind of
soft jazz, soft soul, soft like kind of rhythm and blues
interesting.
type thing. And I do acoustic stuff. I do like a cajon thing with a pedal and some shakers and tamarines
Nice,
with
nice.
him. So I'm doing a lot of that, and yeah, I'll be going to St. Louis with him in about a month, and then we're going to DC to do another show. So I actually have a show Sunday with Zat Black at State Street Pub.
Nice.
That'll be fun.
Nice. Have you ever been over to Playground Productions and played over there with
I
is over
don't.
in Irvington?
I've never even heard
You
of that.
you need really okay, yeah. I need to get you together with this one of my beautiful friends that I'm spacing on the name right now. It's hilarious. I'm like gonna look it up because I can't think of his name right now because I'm literally Samuel's helping me. Adam. Thank you. Um, Adam Riviere. Adam Riviere is one of the leading Latin percussionists here in the city, and he's studied with all these beautiful Latin people, and he plays set, of course, but he also has another place. He has a place called Playground Productions where you actually go over, and you can record there, but you can also just practice space. And he does everything from didgeridoo to all of it. It's amazing. You guys would have so much fun just sitting there talking about auxiliary percussion. It's kind of ridiculous. But you definitely need to look him up. You and him are two peas in a pod. You really need to look him up. Yeah, it's like you might be his long lost little African American sister. It's hilarious. Like you guys need to know each other, and you're in the same city for God's sakes. Like this needs to happen. This I
Yeah.
will make this. It really does need to happen. You guys would be amazing. There were some questions. David said I will check out LSD for sure. He said how do you spell the second band you were talking about? How do you spell the name of it?
Oh, I dropped it in the. It's ZAPBLACK. Zat Black.
Perfect. And the third band's name. He wanted the third band's name.
Yeah. Wampus Milk Daddies.
There you go. For people who are just listening listening, that Wampus is Wampus, Milk Daddies. So yeah, some fun stuff to look up for sure. And then to be honest, once you get to know uh, all the people over at Playground Productions, I bet you money you will start recording again. It's in your heart, I can tell. There's something in there. So it would be fun to hear. It would be fun to hear more from you when it comes to recordings, because you have an ear, and your I love your CD, and I love your music. So don't not put it out just because you're busy. Make time for it, because your audience wants more. So
Yeah, now that
yeah.
I'm doing all of what I'm doing, like I'm literally like joining the hardcore band, I
Hmm.
like literally remember going to the first rehearsal. And these aren't like, I'm not saying they're not musicians because they're musicians, but these aren't like, people that, are like I don't
They
want to
don't
say
get.
like classically trained, but they're not
Yeah.
like, canon, trained through like a academy or conservatory.
Oh yeah, they're
These
not
are
heavy
like
about it.
literal kids that are like,
Oh
seeing
yeah,
the people in the basements and going, "Oh, I want to do that." And
they just
they
do it.
like they know shapes and they know like
Hmm.
movements. They don't like know. So I'm going in the first rehearsal and it was like, for me it was really bad, but to them they're like, "Oh, this is going to be awesome." And now I'm like kind of in the point with playing with them that now I like know what's good, what's not good. Like,
Hmm.
it's, you want it to be good but not good, but you want it to be bad. But you know what I mean? Like, especially with that punk and that hardcore is, that's kind of the
Yeah.
sound and the culture. You know
Oh,
what I
oh
mean?
yeah. It's gotta have a roughness to it. Yeah, that
Yeah.
edge has got to add that edge. Absolutely,
And I
absolutely.
and I love being in that group because I can I don't want to say like mess up, but something can not go how I want it to go and everybody loves it. They're like, "Wow, this is awesome." And I'm over here like, "I meant to do this, but hey, you like it?
That's
I
when you
like it
say.
too."
That's when you say, I actually meant to do that. You liked
Yeah,
it.
it's
That's
so much
exactly what
fun.
I meant to
It's
do,
so
right there.
much fun. It's
Yeah,
that, and then playing with
absolutely.
and then doing like the Zach Black stuff, because all his music, when he writes his music, it's all like MIDI electronic, and
Yeah,
he sends us recordings and we learn them, and then we pretty much, obviously through an acoustic way,
yeah,
do it. But a lot of the music, it literally sounds like, I would explain like real cool like battle, like video game, like battle music. It almost kind of
nice.
sounds, and it has like a dance ability to it, like a lot of kind of stuff
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
and
yeah.
and with
Yeah.
Wampus Milk Daddies, that's very it's like rock, jazz, a little bit of like kind of like metal. There's some breakdowns. There's a lot of
Nice.
fusion, and I don't know if you've noticed, but with my music, I didn't intend for it to be this way, but a lot of my music is literally fusion. Like,
It's very fusion. Yes.
yeah, so
Yeah.
like I like to not do just one thing, whether it be LSD or Zach Black, Wampus Milk Daddies, or working with Bashiri. I mean, when I say I like to do multiple things, I mean like at like the same time, like right in the moment. Like, I want to do this with this sound, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But
Oh
my
yeah.
project is kind of like a,
Hodgepodge.
yeah, and it's it's my first project, and is it perfect and what I want it to really sound like? No, but for it to be a first project, I kind of went, uh,
For a first project, honey, it's good. So understand that, okay? My first project,
yeah,
I look back at it now and I play some of it on the show and I'm going, whoa, I was a baby. And wow, I am so different now. But I am proud of the woman that was in that recording,
oh yeah,
because she stuck her head out there and did it no matter what.
exactly,
And so sometimes it's just, that's kind of the matter of what it is you put it out there, and it's like this child that you kind of let fly. And yeah, it's not perfect, but it's flying. It's going,
exactly.
it's walking, it's going somewhere, and it will touch the people's lives it needs to touch. It is what it is. Well, we have one more song from you, and it's called, I might be doing this wrong. I'm horrible with words. Is it Eli Eli Tanza?
Oh yeah, that's from the, yeah, play that. That's from when I recorded with the klezmer group. That's a fusion of two songs.
Nice. Talking about fusion. Here we go.
One song is Ellie Ellie, Ellie Ellie, which means like mother mother or love love, I can't remember. And then Taunts is the last half of another song called Arabic Taunts, which means Arabic dance.
Nice. Beautiful.
So,
All right, we're going to play that. And we have our other music, and that's the end of the show. So let's have a little fun. Here we go. All right, guys. We have Ellie Ellie Tons by our beautiful guest of the evening. And then we have Reflo. Again, you guys, I need to get a sucker. Like, people send me candy because if I do this right. Reflejo Lanar. Oh, I think I actually did that by Knox. It's totally in Spanish. So there you go. And then we have Que Peso. You guys are killing me tonight. And then we have Ali by Peter Burns. I'm just saying. Here we go. Some beautiful, beautiful music. Oh, I love this show because I get to play music from all over the world. And here we go.
Shalom prayer of mine.
of my great, 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 great grandfather looking back at me. And he said you can't be held accountable for what was done back then. Will it take reparations, a revolution for this slavery to end? And I've got arms that lift you up, a heart that hears your cries. I've got a shoulder for you to lean on. I'm your ally. Climbed up the mountain, looked out on the sea. Call this a land of freedom with systemic poverty. And now they yell out, all lives matter, and that's not really what they mean. To them there's only one color, and that's the color green. And I've got arms that lift you up, a heart that hears you cry. I've got a shoulder for you to lean on. I'm your ally. I'm your ally. Lift you up, heart that hears you cry. You can lean on me. I'm your ally. Arms to lift you up, heart that hears you cry. Shoulder you can lean on me. I'm your ally. I was born to privilege. I had a privileged point of view. I had to open my eyes just to realize what the hell's been happening to you. And they'll try to keep us from voting, gerrymandered so the vote don't count. And the rich keep getting richer. That's all that it's all about. And I've got arms that lift you up, a heart that hears you cry. I've got a shoulder that you can lean on. I'm your ally. I'm your ally. I'm your ally. Shoulder you can lean on me. I'm your ally. You can lean on me. I'm your ally. Arms to lift you up, heart that hears you cry. I've got a shoulder you can lean on. I'm your arms that lift you up, a heart that hears you cry. I've got a shoulder you can lean on. I'm your ally. I'm your ally. I'm your ally. You can lean on me. I'm your ally.
think we all know the chorus to that now. I'm just going to put that out there. Well, it's been a really, really fun show. It's been really awesome to see you guys' conversations. If you guys want to go and see all the conversations about all the percussion situations in the whole world, you should go and just look at the comment section, and then you can comment as well. Because there was a whole discussion happening in the comment section. It was beautiful. It made my heart so happy. I was like, yay, community is happening. And I love it. Like, that is the whole one of the purposes I started the show is to create community. And hey, look, it's happening right now. Makes me very, very happy. But it has been such a pleasure to have you here, my dear, and to be a part of your life in such a way. So thank you for being a part of my life.
Well, thank you for letting me come on your show twice. I can't believe you heard me once. You're like, well, I want her again. So
Yeah. Well, I actually, you were the first time you were on, you were like so passionate. I'm like, yes, that's what I want. I want more of that, please. That's what I need. Thank you. Exactly. So you get out more music and you send that to me and we'll play it and we'll make sure that people know. And there, you already have beautiful followers now. You have fans. You've created fans tonight by just being yourself and being amazing like you are. So that is awesome. Please, guys, go check her out. Make sure you go and check out her Facebook page and her Instagram. I'll pull that back up in 2 seconds when I find it. We've got facebook.com/GIAUNA. Neville, Neville, and then you've got Instagram.com/GIAUNAS Jazz, Jazz. Some beautiful things tonight. We have a few more comments at the end. Mr. Dave Robinson is liking you. This is fun. You guys need to connect in real life and just you just need to be like drum buddies. Because he's a drummer too. He's amazing. Cat Black, he said, yes, the band she's in, the Wampus Milk Daddies. And yes, so, and LSD. So make sure to check those out. And thanks. You are very welcome, Mr. David. We love you. He is a contributor to the show with music and obviously regular listener. It's a beautiful thing to have regular listeners. You are watching and listening to the Celtic Rain Radio Show. If you have stuff to send me, you can send it to celticrain777@gmail.com. All you have to do is be a small label or independent artist or band or whatever. And it needs to be family friendly, meaning please no cursing and don't make fun of people. It's just not worth it, right? We all need to be each other's ally, just like the last song. If we didn't learn anything from that song, let's learn that, right?
exactly.
If you're not watching from YouTube, please go to youtube.com/C for channel /Celtic Rain, like rain out of the sky. We record and go live on Tuesday nights from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern time. That's right, Eastern time. Sometimes we go a little over just because we're having too much fun. You are watching the Celtic Rain Radio Show. We say thank you, good night, goodbye, and we love you. Bye.